A lot of people tell me that home inspecting is really easy, and I disagree. So today I'm going to show you, this is actually my house. And when we bought the house originally, so this entire area up here, which runs all the way down to the screen porch down there, it didn't have a gutter on it when we bought it. So what happens every single time it rained, water would pool all down this entire line. Water around your foundation is bad. It is. I tell people that all the time. I always say, get the water away. So when we had the pool built over there, we had the screen company come in and install this lovely gutter up here. And what they did is they terminated the downspouts. And let me show you. They terminated it there. So that didn't really solve the problem because the water was still hitting right here and it was pulling in these two corners. So when I say home inspecting is not easy, this is why. So on the inside of the house, over a couple years, there were no issues. And then over time, what we started seeing was some cracks developing in the drywall down on this corner, going this way. And then on the other corner over here, coming down this way here. So cracks means something's moving, right? So I knew it was water. That's why we did the gutter. When we did the gutter, things got a little bit better. So what I noticed recently is the cracks started to get bigger. So I actually put extension tubes on the gutters. This is the side of the house over here. So two things that I want to point out is on this corner down here, and then also on this corner over here. The downspouts here, we put extension tubes on them and we temporarily ran them out to about over there somewhere. And then the one down there, ran it out to right about in there somewhere. That didn't fix the problem. So I came out the other day and wanted to look to see if I could see anything on the outside. And this is what I found. So on this corner here, and it's a little bit hard to see, but there is a stair step crack here, and it goes all the way down to the foundation, and it kind of runs underneath over there a little bit, and then it hits the ground. This is the fun one. You can see this crack here. That's pretty good size there, right? So, and it comes down all the way down to the ground. Over on this side though, look at here in the window, you can see it's separating here. And then if you look up here, you can see a tiny bit of movement here, but not much. So most of the movement is down here on the bottom. So what we're getting is this area where it's actually starting to kind of sink down below the window. So here's the other side over here. Again, there's the gutter. That's bedroom, that's a bathroom. There's the other one. On this side here, we never had cracking on the side of the house. Now, what I found the other day, if we come up close, we can actually see it up here, starting to see this opened up here. And you can see it's moving all the way down. And then if I come down a little bit further, over here to this bathroom window, we can also see it moving down there. So that tells me things are still moving, which is not good. I know that if I bring a foundation company come in, they're going to want to stabilize it. It's going to be $10,000. So my first thought was, let's make sure the water is not sitting at the foundation still. It hasn't rained in a while. So I'm thinking, I know that we have a lot of shrink swell clay in this area. I've seen it on the other side of the house, and we did have to do a foundation repair over there because of it. I'm wondering if I'm having the same issue on this side. And because we've always had that water pooling in this area, that it's always kept that clay expanded. So we never really had an issue with it shrinking. And I'm wondering if since we put in the extension tubes, got that water away, if it started shrinking and drying out, and that's why we're seeing the cracks forming. So what I did is I did a little project. So you can see that there are some containers, traps down here now on that side and on this side as well. And what I did is I ran lines underground all the way over there. Goes all the way over there to the edge of the shower wall. And same thing over here, comes in, it basically tees right there, and then they both run out that way. So what this connects into is the deck drains for the pool area. So there's a deck drain here for the shower, and then there's deck drain right there. You can see that one, and then there's another one. You can see it inside the door there. It runs off that way. So they come in, and they all connect right in here to a nice big fat 4-inch PVC pipe, and then they all run out that way, and you can see there's the clean out I put in for it. They all run out that way over there, and outside the fence there is a large underground tank where all this water gets to go to. So why is that important? Because now I am making 100% sure that that water that's sitting near this foundation is no longer there. I'm getting it way, 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 way far away. Hopefully things will stabilize and stop moving. And then if that's the case, then I know that it was the water was keeping everything swelled and that the clays have probably shrunk and dried out. And from there, I will probably still call a foundation company to come in and just give me a quick assessment on it and let me know what they think needs to be done. Very likely they're going to want to put in helical piers, and at $2,000-3,000 a piece, I know I'm looking at like 10 grand. So I really would like to avoid that. So if I can make sure that the water is staying away and the soil is staying dry in these areas, then I know that the situation won't get any worse. When I say home inspecting is not easy, it's because people don't typically understand what the long-term effects of what we're calling out is and why we're calling it out. So I can explain it to people. I can say, hey, over time, water is going to sit at your foundation. It's going to infiltrate. It's going to cause the soils to destabilize, and you can get foundation movement. I tell people that all the time. What I end up seeing is people say, okay, great. And then they don't do anything about it. And then 6 months, a year later, I actually had somebody call me like 5 years later and say, hey, I'm seeing cracks outside, in this area of my house. We think you missed, a foundation problem. And I was like, first of all, it's been 5 years. And second, the area that you're pointing at is an area where I told you should put gutters on the house because water was pooling at the foundation. It was visible. There were depressions from where that was happening. So when we call these things out, we're looking out for your, not just the immediate problems. We're not just looking and saying, hey, this is actively being damaged, you need to take care of this. We're sitting there saying, hey, there's something going on that may not be a problem right now, but in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, it could be a huge problem. And this is a great example of that. When you read your reports, when you listen to what your inspector says, take note very, very clearly of what they're saying. And if they recommend something and tell you that this is something that could cause a problem in the future, take it seriously. $2,000 for gutters on your house, whatever it costs, I have no idea anymore, it is way, way, way cheaper than $10,000 for a foundation repair or that insurance claim, which is going to skyrocket your insurance. And if you live in Florida, like I do, insurance sucks. Take note and have a good day.